I'm a facilitator, and I have a lot of trouble telling people what that actually means. It means a lot of things to a lot of different people, but basically I'm better described, I think, as a problem solver. So I work with a lot of organisations and I help them solve their problems. I found out about PCM from a very concerned friend of mine. I was going through a really bad patch in a particular job and butting heads with bosses, butting heads with colleagues, and generally just not achieving what I needed to be achieving in the role. It was a bit of a tough challenge to have a good look at myself in the mirror and work out that I was actually the problem. And I went along to the first course and went, oh, that's why things aren't going so well in my life at the moment. I decided to become a PCM provider because I wanted to share the experience that I'd had, and it's not about going out there and converting the world. It's not about making other people believe in what I believe, but it's about providing opportunities to people to have their own experiences to improve their lives. I think for me, I became a PCM provider to keep involved with the content. I use it every day. Mainly to manage myself. I work in the conflict resolution field, and so I'm in situations where people are always in conflict or in distress or life's just not going really well. And I became a provider to help people find a way to help themselves. I think PCM is a great skill to learn because it helps you manage who you are. And again, I probably go on about that a fair bit around how valuable it's been to me. But it's a great skill to learn because you can actually give it to other people without them even knowing it. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about PCM. And I'm not much of a promoter, I'm not much of a marketer. I like to wait for people to ask me, how does it work? And I tell them and I share it with them, and then they can actually take bits and pieces away and apply it in their own lives for their own benefit. The most amazing outcome I've seen for someone who's been exposed to PCM is probably myself. Nothing wrong with a bit of self-promotion here. I can't believe the personal difference it's made to me, but really, enough about me. I want to talk about a little experience I had just last week. I was facilitating a conversation between a manager and a co-worker, and it was a reporting relationship, so a manager and someone who reports to them, and they were just butting heads, and they'd been butting heads for about 3.5 years of the 4 years they'd been working together. I met with both of these individuals, I talked with them, and I was able very quickly to work out what their personality profile was, what their issue was, what motivated them, and how to connect with both of them. And I think for me it was about being able to build that trust into the individual discussions I had with them. They both agreed to come together with me in the room to have a discussion. And it wasn't much of a conversation to start with. The tone was pretty intense, the heat was pretty high, but by the end of the process and sharing their perceptions and nutting our way through some of the miscommunication, we actually ended up with an apology, which is a pretty amazing place to get to in a very short mediation. The kind of person who'd make a great PCM provider is anyone. Anyone who is prepared to have a go at being in touch with who they are, and anyone who wants to make a difference to the lives of others. If you're thinking about becoming a PCM provider, the one thing I would say is go for it. Absolutely, don't hesitate. Don't be afraid about, oh look, you know, this is not really my kind of thing. I'm not really into this touchy-feely kind of stuff. I don't really need to grow as a person. You know, I think just have a go. You'll be surprised about what it can do for you, and you'll be surprised about what it can do for your business.